He is shocking everyone, and there is no stopping his ascension as Max Christie had a career night as the Lakers without Anthony Davis got an important win in the first night of a back-to-back as JJ and the Lakers got their first win of the year, the calendar year that is. And the Lakers just continue to improve and get better. I'm Okechi Apakama along with Hunter Pitcoff, and this is Lakers Digest coming at you with another video. And before we get into everything we have you guys, just to remind you guys to subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already, because there is about 4,200 subscribed to the channel, and we are trying to push towards our goal of 5,000 subscribers. So each and every one of you guys who subscribe to the channel truly help out. But with that first win of the year, Hunter Pitcoff, how are you feeling about the Los Angeles Lakers here?
Well, it's definitely a sigh of relief to be undefeated this year. But in all honesty, guys, like you said, Okechi, a game without Anthony Davis, the second one that he's missed this season, and yet that's not even the biggest storyline because the Lakers were able to get it done on both ends of the court. And one player in particular, Okechi, definitely stood out and had his best game, maybe of his entire career, at the perfect time.
Oh, definitely of his entire career, as Max Christie's career night really carried the Lakers through this night. He was doing things on the offensive end especially, and defense as well, as he had the task of guarding Anthony Simons and also Shaedon Sharpe at times. So Max Christie, let's just dive straight into those stats of what he had for the Los Angeles Lakers here. And he had 28 points to go along with three rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. He shot 5 of 9 from 3, so talk about three-point shooting. He hit 5 of them. And then LeBron James was the one who actually led the charge in scoring for the Lakers with 38 points. He was 7 of 10 from 3, really couldn't miss from that range. 8 assists to go along with 3 rebounds. And then Austin Reaves continues his stellar play with 15 points, 11 assists, and 8 rebounds. And just they had more spread out efforts, mostly on the defensive end, as nobody else scored over double figures, but the Lakers really got some big contributions from one Max Christie. So let's continue to talk about Max Christie, Hunter. Just what do you think about his game? Just it was a full, complete game, in my opinion, for Max Christie.
That is a perfect way to describe it, Okechi, because it wasn't just one thing that stood up for Max. It was a ton. I mean, you talk about the three-point shooting. That's obviously what he brings most on offense, but he did a really good job cutting to the basket and slashing both with the ball and without the ball. Had multiple dunks in this game. Also shot perfect from the foul line. That's something he continues to do. So if he continues to shoot the ball like that, especially down the stretch, he made a whole lot of plays. But if he continues to be clutch at the free throw line, which you see the Lakers lose a couple games this year at the foul line, that's going to mean that he will be an option for the Lakers and one that JJ will have to consider no matter who's in and out of this team at the trade deadline or whatever it might be for the Lakers because of how well he shoots there. But defensively, he was really good, really did a good job with all his assignments. He also got a very key rebound at the end of the game, which pretty much iced it for the Lakers. And he was all over the place. But what I liked the most about what I saw from Max is how confident he was in his jump shot. There was zero hesitation in almost every single move he made out there, especially when he was shooting that 3 ball. He caught it, and that thing was up. And he obviously had it going. He had the rhythm tonight. He recognized it. He took advantage of the opportunity in the moment. And as a result, he has a big game, the best of his career as the Lakers' go-to player in Anthony Davis sits this one out.
Yeah, and I think that was a big reason to help with Max's huge scoring effort is because Anthony Davis was not playing, so a lot more shots were available. And then we've also recently traded D'Angelo Russell, so there has been a lot more shots to kind of go around the team. So that's why we've seen Austin score a little bit more, and then we've seen more from even some of the role players. So Max Christie, this is he's been scoring in double figures for quite a bit here. So he's had a couple of games where it's kind of been growing, just 13 points, 14 points, 17 points. So it's just been slowly and surely he's been building off top of his success and just having good games after good games. And each and every night he's guarding the other team's best player. That's another part of the equation that can be really tough about this aspect, because that can take a lot out of you if you're guarding the other team's best player, chasing him around the court, guarding them 94 feet. But Max Christie is up to the task and doing everything that JJ Redick and the Lakers are asking. So it is tremendous to see him. But we would be remiss if we didn't talk about one LeBron James. He was just spectacular in this game once again. I mean, it's hard to be surprised, but I mean, I continue to be just astounded because there's just no more superlatives to really describe this guy. This the year 2025, and he's still dominating the NBA. So, Hunter, what about LeBron? What did you think of his game?
Well, when again your go-to offensive player all season long, Anthony Davis, is out with an injury, someone's got to step up, and the next guy you're looking at is LeBron, and like he's done for 22 years now, since he was 18 years old, now 40 years old doing it. LeBron James shows up when his team has needed him the most throughout pretty much every single moment of his career, even game 33 against the Portland Trailblazers on a Thursday night. He's going to show up for you and really just absolutely dominate. It was not only did he have, a historic night in a couple ways here, he has the third highest scoring single game output for a 40-year-old in NBA history. And he also ties Michael Jordan for the most amount of 30-point games in NBA history. So, obviously, guys, we read the comments. For some reason, there is a big portion of you guys that just think LeBron James is ruining the Lakers. All I'm saying is the Lakers had some of their worst seasons in franchise history before LeBron got there. He has won a championship. He has helped make the Lakers a reputable basketball brand again, and he has done nothing but help this team win games. So me and Okechi, we're sick and tired. And look, we call out LeBron when it's deserved to, when he's having the turnover issues and everything like that. But like, sit back and appreciate greatness while it's here. And LeBron James, what he's doing at 40 years old right now, he can easily retire. He has nothing else to prove, but he's out here because he loves the game and he wants to help his team win.
Yep. Don't take LeBron James for granted. Like, that was well said, Hunter. But LeBron was dominant in this one. But I wanted to get to another point of the Lakers that was really been a trend in the right direction. And I think a reason why they made the trade for Dorian Finney-Smith. And it's their defense really won this game, as their defense seems to just be improving and improving. I think I heard a stat since was it December 3rd, the Lakers are second in defensive rating. So their defense has truly improved in a short amount of time. That's kudos to JJ Redick. Kudos to some of the guys just playing harder. I think LeBron having that 10-day absence kind of really helped his legs. And then you just have guys just being more focused and alert. I've seen Rui make some plays. I've seen Cam Reddish really step up and make some plays. Max Christie really step up and make some plays. So talk about the Lakers defense. What has been impressing you of most lately?
And let's double dip on that defensive point, Okechi, because when I was watching this game, and I think, I'm trying to remember exactly what the lineup was, but it was either Hayes or Koloko. One of the centers was in there.
Mm-hmm.
But then they had Rui, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Cam Reddish all out there, or it was like Dalton Knecht. Like, they just seemed so much bigger with just a simple addition of Dorian Finney-Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not even a big man, but the Lakers so many times really out of necessity. It's something that Darvin Ham got killed for, but maybe he shouldn't have gotten as much slack for this. Is they kept running so many small 3-guard lineups where it'd be like Dalton Knecht's playing the 4, or it's D'Lo, Gabe, and D'Angelo Russell out there, and people are coming after JJ Redick, but especially when there's a couple injuries there, you're like, well, he has no choice. Like, what's he supposed to do? But with Dorian Finney-Smith there, now you really see more positional size and versatility, which with the Lakers' defensive scheme where they want to switch a lot, you need a guy like Dorian Finney-Smith because he is a really good switchable defender. And look, he's not gotten his legs under him offensively yet. He hit his first 3, did not make a single shot after that. But the offense will come, I think, for Dorian Finney-Smith. He's not known for being an electric offensive player, and I think when he kind of just gets his legs under him a little bit, he'll be a little bit better here. But defensively, he's already made a pretty big impact, and it seems like the Lakers haven't missed a beat defensively with him, especially in tonight's game. And we'll see if he enters the starting lineup or not. But I thought he looked nice there, and even Shake Milton giving a couple of nice buckets here, and trying his best to be a solid initiator for the Lakers.
I mean, you hit it right there on the head there, because Dorian Finney-Smith, he's really helped the Lakers improve defensively. The Lakers just look a lot bigger defensively. Obviously, Gabe Vincent hasn't been playing because he's their smallest guy on the court. But everybody else that has been playing is over, I think, 6'4", because I think Shake Milton's like about 6'4", but he's got a pretty long wingspan. So he kind of makes up for that. So the Lakers, just across the board, are a very large team. And then when you put guys like even LeBron, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Rui Hachimura, those 3 guys are all pretty big and strong dudes. Yeah, they're not 7-footers, but those guys can get up into you. They can guard centers. They can do a lot of different things, and they have a lot of switchability. So that's another good point to make. So they have a lot of switchability in between them. So it is nice to see the Lakers have this defensive versatility without Vando, because he's still a guy who, if he comes back and makes a return, this team could really be something defensively. So that's just very exciting to see. And then Shake Milton, you also brought him up. I want to talk about him just a little bit, just because trading him essentially for Max Lewis is just getting a more rotational guy. So he's just going to be a nice another guard to have in the rotation. I don't think he's going to play too much once Gabe Vincent is ready to go. But maybe he does. If, he's hitting shots and Gabe Vincent is not, then you put in a Shake Milton, because you can do that. He is a capable scorer and playmaker.
Yeah, and on top of that, Okechi, I think the initial plan for Milton was, like, you just got a depth piece. Like, Maxwell Lewis was not playing for the Lakers, right? He was playing for the South Bay Lakers. Jake Milton's a good basketball player. Like, he can give you minutes, and it's a long 82-game season. We're not even halfway through it, so guys are just going to get injured. You cannot predict this stuff, but what you can do and what you can control is how good your roster is and the amount of depth that you have. And adding a guy like Shake Milton just gives the Lakers one more extra option who they can trust to go out there and to initiate the offense. And even when Austin Reaves was out, Shake Milton was doing a good job handling the basketball, handling the full court pressure, the three-quarter pressure that Portland was trying to give some of their athletic guards, and he seemed fine out there. So that's definitely a nice addition for losing at D'Angelo Russell. Again, guys, you have to give up something to get something. If you want to get a Dorian Finney-Smith, you're going to have to give up assets to get that. Brooklyn's not going to trade him for literally nothing. So you have to give up a young prospect like Lewis, a good player D'Angelo Russell, but to get Shake Milton back in that deal softens the blow a little bit in that backcourt for the Lakers.
Yeah, it sure does. And it's nice to see him, even if he still doesn't know where he should be in parts in the offense, because it seems like they haven't been running too much sets when guys like Finney-Smith and Shake Milton are out there. I've noticed also Redick put them out there together because they have played together on the same team, so you would assume there's a little bit of chemistry with at least those two guys. So at least Redick did that to help kind of like bridge them a little bit. But also, want to talk about the centers a little bit, because that's kind of been a point of topic here as we move on to more of like the latter parts of the video, as some of our other thoughts on the win. And I wanted to talk about, because we didn't have Anthony Davis in this game, so Jackson Hayes started, and this is the first game that he's really played since, I believe, November. November, yeah. So Hayes played, and then he actually had some pretty good energy. The first play of the game, it was him getting a dunk from a pass from LeBron James on a screen and roll. So he looked active, he looked bouncy, he looked like a person who hasn't played in a month. But he was giving the Lakers the requisite energy that they needed. And then also Christian Koloko as well. As we just go back to those stats there for Koloko, he was pretty solid in his minutes. 8 points, 8 rebounds in only 19 minutes. So that's pretty solid for a guy like Christian Koloko. He also had 3 assists as well. I didn't even notice that. So Koloko was doing some things. So talk about the Laker bigs in AD's absence. What do you think about how they played?
Yeah, well, I was kind of shocked because the Lakers, what I wasn't shocked was the Lakers going a little bit smaller here and not really bringing a traditional center at times. And then the Blazers just kind of matching that. They have a few pretty solid bigs. I mean, DeAndre Ayton, you can argue maybe not the best defensive big man, but he can give you something offensively. I really was impressed with Donovan Clingan. I mean, he was a defensive monster at UConn, and it seemed like he was having a really good job protecting the rim and grabbing rebounds for Portland. So I'm surprised they didn't give him more minutes in the fourth. And they also have Robert Williams as well, which I know Laker fans, there's a good portion of you guys that are, looking for him to be the potential trade candidate as a backup big for Anthony Davis. He didn't play at all in this game. So I'm surprised the Blazers didn't really, kind of use their size to their advantage. They have one of the tallest, if not the tallest team in the entire NBA.
They do have the tallest team. I think they said that at the broadcast. Tall, right? Yeah.
So I'm kind of surprised they didn't try to take advantage of that because the Lakers didn't have Anthony Davis. But I was really impressed with what Koloko's done. I like him a lot. I think he's been thrown into a tough situation having to play right away with Hayes getting hurt. But I thought he's actually fared well. Even the Golden State game on Christmas, I thought he was awesome in the minutes he played there and really helped get rebounds for the Lakers, block shots. He's the archetype of player that the Lakers want in a big man. Mm-hmm. He just needs to get a little more experience. Obviously, he couldn't play for a while with a heart condition. Got cleared this summer, and that's why the Lakers were able to sign him. If he's able to kind of get this experience, right? Like we talked about Max Christie not getting that experience under Darvin Ham. Well, Koloko's been forced to get this experience with JJ Redick, and I think long term it's going to really benefit him a lot and this team.
Oh yeah, definitely for sure because that is the prototypical type of guy, like a guy who runs the floor, a guy who can get you some offensive rebounds, some extra possessions, and a guy who just is ready to finish on these alley oops, these rolls to the rim. Because that's the thing that I really like about Koloko. He runs really hard. And then other stat I didn't say he had 5 offensive rebounds. So out of those 8 rebounds, 5 of them were on the offensive side of the ball. So that's just energy, that's hustle, that's effort. We talked about Portland being one of the biggest teams out there, and they couldn't stop a guy like Christian Koloko. So they're just very encouraging to see, and also says something about the Portland big man, not Robert Williams because he didn't play, but I
Yeah,
mean,
you should bail him out.
yeah, I mean the other guys, and not the guy that's a rookie. But anyways, more on that the other former #1 pick, but um, where was I? Yeah, the Lakers defense. So like, or the Lakers big man actually. So they've been good in Anthony Davis absence, and it's probably just maybe a 1 day absence because I kind of saw the Lakers kind of taking this game for Anthony Davis because they have a tougher team in Atlanta tomorrow. What did you kind of see that, Hunter, or was that just me reading into things?
Uh, I don't think the Lakers are gonna flat out admit that, but I
No,
don't think you're very off base, Okechi.
no.
Yeah, the Lakers, it's crazy. I don't think they have 2 straight days off, like pretty much the entire month of January here. So it's
Mhm.
gonna be a lot of every other days or back to backs, even including tomorrow's night's game against the Atlanta Hawks. So they got played smart. Anthony Davis has been dealing with this heel ankle injury pretty much all season long,
Mhm.
and LeBron obviously at his age as well. Those are 2 guys, your star players, your superstar players that you need to monitor. So the Lakers medical staff, they know what they're doing. Anthony Davis has been extremely durable this year, and they were taking it safe. And for another team with a couple good active big men in Capella and Okongwu, tomorrow, you're gonna need Anthony Davis to play his best.
Of course, and especially help guarding some of the actions because with a guy like Trey Young, you don't want to let a guy like Trey Young really get hot from three, and he does a good job on those screen and rolls. And Anthony Davis is probably one of the best in the league at guarding.
You only last time too when they played.
Yeah, and Anthony Davis does a good job of guarding both man and ball when it comes to some of those actions. But that's probably going to be it for this game recap. It's because Portland Trailblazers, they're just not a good team at the end of the day. But the Los Angeles Lakers were able to get a win in this one, a very important win, as this is going to be an important stretch in January because they do have not a lot of days off, but a good amount of the games are in LA. So that is a very important thing to note. So it's not too much travel. And hopefully, if they can get a win streak here, because there's some teams in there. I see there's some Washington games, there's some San Antonio games, so there's some teams that you can beat here in this stretch. So how important is this next stretch here for the Lakers, especially if they can get some guys back from injury? So I'm talking about guys like maybe Christian Wood or even Jared Vanderbilt.
Yeah, it's also gonna be important for the Lakers to decide too. Like they already made, I guess, their one big move in getting Dorian Finney-Smith and Shake Milton. But is there gonna be another move to be had? And there's gonna be a few weeks here. It's kind of similar to 2022, if I'm getting it right, with Rui Hachimura.
Yeah, they traded for Rui first, and then it was a couple of weeks, I think, before they made the Russell Westbrook trade. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty much a very similar-ish deadline. I think Rui got traded even earlier than that, but they get their first big move, and then the other big moves happen after. And Rob Pelinka wasn't kidding when he said it was 30 games, because game 31 was when the trade happened.
Mm-hmm.
So his mind was made up. He clearly believes that this team potentially has what it takes to really contend in the West. And perhaps I still think there could be a move or two left here, Okechi, where this could elevate this team to being kind of a championship contender, perhaps in the West. And on top of that as well, Rob Pelinka is going to have a few more weeks to evaluate this roster, and this is a very important stretch for the Lakers, who clearly play much better at home than they do on the road this year. To really rack up some wins here, give the front office more confidence, get healthy, perhaps getting Vanderbilt or Christian Wood back here, and really kind of make a push in the West for the second half of the season.
Yep, let's hope the Lakers can do that. And also, you guys can follow us as well. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. There is about 90% of y'all who have recently watched our videos, and I know there's a lot of you because we see the numbers, but make sure you guys subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of that action here at Lakers Digest. I have been your host, Okechi Apakama, along with Hunter Pitcoff, and we will catch you guys on the next one.